Yeah, I didn't, that wasn't up yet on the, you had what, 5,000?
Okay, we're calling this meeting to order. This is the first meeting of Cycle 44, fiscal year 18 of the Dudley Cultural Council. I'm Denise Driscoll, Chairman. And if we can just go around the room and introduce.
Audrey Resner, member.
Joan Zelfi, Secretary.
Jenny D. Donato, member.
Joanne Brinker, member. Nancy Roy, Treasurer.
Mary Kunkel, member.
Thank you, and I want to welcome our new members, old members back again.
Retreads, yeah.
Mary Kunkel and Jenny Donato, thank you very much. Okay, does everybody have a copy of the agenda?
Yep.
And we'll start with the minutes of the June 6th meeting. Joan?
Apologize for not sending these by email ahead of time, but I have a problem with my laptop. I couldn't log into my email. The Dudley Cultural Council meeting was held on June 7th, 2017 in the Selectmen's Meeting Room at Dudley Town Hall. The meeting was called to order by co-chairpersons Marilyn Kramars and Denise Driscoll at 9:03 a.m. This meeting was recorded for viewing on the town's website and the local cable access TV station. Members present, co-chairpersons Denise Driscoll and Marilyn Kramars, Treasurer Nancy Roy, Secretary Joan Zelfi, and Board Member Audrey Resner. The meeting had a quorum. Members absent, Rose Smolka and Joanne Brinkner. Secretary's report. Each member present was given a copy of the November 9, 2016 meetings minutes with the November 16, 2016 minutes appended, prepared by Joan Zelfi. Also, the list of approved grants, their amounts, descriptions, and dates of programs was provided. Several members had read and or printed the list and minutes sent by email prior to the meeting. After the minutes were reviewed, a motion to accept the minutes as written was made, seconded, and approved. The Treasurer's report, Nancy Roy gave this report. The balance of June 7, 2017 was $2,021.19. Total grants of $3,135 have been submitted and $1,865 is encumbered for upcoming programs of Cycle 43. This will leave the Dudley Cultural Council checking account with a balance of $156.19 to be used for administrative purposes. The Dudley Cultural Council grant for Cycle 43 of 2017 was $5,000. A motion to accept the Dudley Cultural Council Treasurer's report after a minor typo was corrected was made, seconded, and approved. A list of the grants that have been held and paid, as well as a list of programs that have not yet been presented and therefore not yet paid, was provided. Old business, the Board of Selectmen was given the Dudley Cultural Council's 2017 annual report prepared by Marilyn Kramars and Denise Driscoll. It listed the members of the board, the number of grant requests, and a list of Cycle 43's approved grants, which totaled the $5,000 grant the Dudley Cultural Council received from the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Copies of the report were also given to the town clerk, Ora Finn, and the Dudley Cultural Council Secretary, Deb Thibodeau, which needs correcting. I have the wrong name. A review on the 2016 new online entry process that was implemented for Cycle 43 took place. It was agreed by the members that splitting the requests among the members for review was a good approach, but that we still feel all grant requests should be available for viewing in case we have input on requests we were not assigned. Audrey continues to oversee the display of the Dudley Cultural Council banner at all Dudley Cultural Council programs. Nancy provided a list containing the programs, the date they were or will be held, and their locations. Marilyn handed out a pamphlet to each member to read and then sign, titled The Sexual Harassment Policy of the Town of Dudley. A thank you note was received from the Shepherd Hill Regional High School's art department for providing a grant for the annual art show. Marilyn posed a question that she will determine the answer to from the Massachusetts Cultural Council and whether it is still necessary to archive our various reports now that all requests are being processed online. A review of the status of board members' tenure on the board showed that two current members, Marilyn Kramars and Rose Smolka cannot serve the coming term, that Nancy, Audrey, and Joanne may serve till 2018, Joe till, oh, that's an error, I think it's 2019, and Denise till 2020. An August meeting is necessary to review our council's priorities as required by the Massachusetts Cultural Council to determine when to publish the dates for requesting grants in the local newspapers and on cable TV. Next meeting, Wednesday, June 9th, 2000. Oh boy. Next meeting, I have 3 errors in this one. August 9th, 2017, Dudley Town Hall, room 315 at 9 a.m. Meeting adjourned at 9:50 a.m. All right. Who is the Dudley secretary?
Selectmen's Michelle.
What's her last name? Oh, should I just eliminate putting that in?
No, it'll come to me.
Okay.
We can check on the way out.
And that should say August 9th. And what was the other error I had? Oh, my term, I believe, is 2019. And I know that, and I don't know why I printed 18.
And your term is what, Denise? 2009?
Joan's term is,
And the
ends in
other-
2019.
And yours?
Mine is 2020.
Oh, so you're the same as me.
I just renewed.
God bless you.
All right. Any other questions or notice any problems? Otherwise, the 3 that I've
We have
noticed
a motion to
myself.
accept the minutes with the 3 corrections that she indicated.
Second. So.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have treasurer's report. Nancy?
Okay, the balance in our account as of June 7th, 2017 was $2,021.19. We earned $1.75 interest for June and July, giving us a new balance of $2,022.94. 3 additional grants since our last meeting have been presented. Tim Loftus, Irish Music, Scott Jameson, Magician, and Stephen Lewis, the posters. The reimbursement forms for these have been submitted. These 3 grants totaled $665, leaving us with $1,357.94. 3 grants have yet to be performed. The Gray Whisker Pickers, the Revolution of 1774, and the Plumes for the Shepherd Hill Senior Marching Band. These grants total $1,200, leaving us with a remaining balance of $157.94. This will be our administrative fund balance, plus any more interest earned until we get our allotment from the Massachusetts Cultural Council. I believe we will be level funded again at $5,000.
Yeah, it hasn't been published yet. We should know by the end of this month, the end of August, what our allocation is. But according to the total budget, they had submitted for 14 million, and I believe they got 12 million. So that, I think, is about what we had last year as well. So I would expect that our funding
We'll find out when we
allocation
get it.
would probably be somewhere around the $5,000 range.
The Plumes for the Shepherd Hill Marching Band, I haven't received any reimbursement form from them. I don't know if they're aware of it, but being the summer, I
Right.
didn't try contacting anybody, because they have until the end of the year.
Right.
So.
Right, so maybe we should just keep an eye on that, and then if we don't hear anything, perhaps by October or our next meeting, then
Right,
somebody
once
could
school,
contact them.
starts, I'll just
So
send
we
them
have their
out.
contact information on the application form.
Right, and the Gray Whisker Pickers are playing Saturday at the tavern. And then in November, the Revolution of 1774 is also going to be held at the tavern. So we're all set there.
Any questions on the treasurer's report? Okay, thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
I just didn't catch, but I can get it later probably, the amount that was spent for the 3 programs. And 365, I think you said.
The 3 that were previously paid,
Yeah.
or that were just submitted.
The first 3, 665,
Oh, okay. That seemed low.
and the
Thank
last
you,
3
Nancy.
are 1,200.
Okay, moving on. So I,
You have to accept those minutes.
oh, I'm sorry. Do we, I don't know if we accept treasurers.
Yeah.
I don't
We do?
know.
Okay.
Oh,
I thought
Motion
we
to
did.
accept
Yeah.
treasurer's report.
And they
Oh,
were
yeah.
second, I think.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Treasurer's report accepted. I'm still new to this.
You're doing great.
Okay, the MCC, the Mass Cultural Council, has published on the website a list of to-dos for the month of August. So we're gonna look at that next, but before we move on, I just wanna make sure that, including our new members, that everybody knows how to access the website. Everybody has received the new password.
You included that. in
I
the
did include
email,
that in
which
the
was
email.
helpful, yeah.
And one thing that has probably changed, Jenny and Mary, since you were last here, is that the communications that come from the Mass Cultural Council now go out to everybody on the council. At one time, I think it only went to the chair and then, or the officers, and then they had to distribute to the members. Now, all of us are included in all of their communication. So, makes it a little bit easier.
More emails.
More email, right? But it does make it easier
Okay.
for,
Sure.
oh, did I send it, didn't I send it?
Yeah.
You know, that way.
And I'm assuming it says MCC or.
MCC,
Yes, so
yeah, I believe
open it because
Mass
of-
Culture, it'll be easily identified. Okay, so one of the things that they wanted us to do, and we, I think briefly looked at this in June, but just to review with our new members, is our council priorities. Basically, they call it, they, I believe, changed the term, so it's basically our guidelines, our local level guidelines. So there's the state guidelines for grant applicants, and then at a local level, we're able to develop guidelines as well. So I've, all of you should have a copy of our current, okay.
Does everybody have one or is that the only one?
Yep, no, everyone should have one at their, it's, after that, that's you.
Oh,
You don't have one.
wait
Okay.
a minute, maybe it's this other page, hold on.
Oh, yes, there is a second page. Okay, there
Yep,
it is.
there we are.
Okay, so just in review, the ones that, our criteria, our first one is the applicants must have secured a venue. We know they don't have to have a date, but they have to at least come to us with a secured venue. For the FY17 grants, which we'll have to change to 18, I will do that. Grants, the program must take place within the 2018 calendar year. We give priority to programs that will benefit many residents rather than a few. We give priority to artists, performers, and presenters from our community who meet the state and local guidelines. We may choose to partially fund many projects rather than fully fund a few. And we may choose to limit the number of applications that may be funded by one individual group, depending on the amount of our allocation for each cycle. And that actually came into play last year where we had a particular applicant who wanted to do, had two separate venues,
Oh,
but it was a very similar program.
okay.
And so we said, no, just one, and that way we were able to fund something else.
Denise, quick question.
Yes.
These are our priorities?
These are our
These
local
are
ones,
locals, yeah.
yes. And then lastly, according to our community input, which is the survey that we're required to do every 3 years, and it was done for the last fiscal year.
Mhm.
So we're all set for another 2 years. But based on the responses to that, we give priority to the programs in the following order: programs that are geared to families, programs that are geared to senior citizens, and programs that are presented as concerts, lectures, or artistic events, cultural events. And those were the three most popular answers when we did our survey.
How did you do the survey, if I may ask?
We did it at one of the, Marilyn and I went to one of the,
Election?
no, not an election, we went to one of the,
Concerts.
oh my God, concert, thank you,
At
Joe.
Black Tavern.
At the Black Tavern.
Oh, okay.
And we went early, and as people started coming in, we gave them the survey, they filled it out right away. We took it, and
I forgot their name right now,
We
the
read-
group from Western Mass.
it was the fanfare, the
Yes,
brass
we-
fanfare,
brass,
yes.
They were good, and there were a lot of people there, so.
Yes, yes, there were.
Quick question, Denise, when you said set for another 2 years, so we did it in 2016?
We did it in 2016, which was actually fiscal year 2017.
Okay.
Okay,
This is gonna be driving me crazy.
I know.
Why they didn't do it.
It's very,
So
Now, this
we
is-
need to do it again in 2018 or 20?
well, within the 2019,
For
within the,
2019.
yeah, we'll have to figure that out, when it's actually two again. I guess sometime
every
within
3
2019, every 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we had been. every
Yes,
three.
yes, and that's
Oh,
still
it's
the
every
same.
3?
Okay, so
Okay,
you'll-
So it was done 2000.
Okay, so,
it looks like we will need to
So
do
what's
it
the
again
date
for
it's due then? Is it
2019.
next year?
I'm sorry.
So the survey's due in 2019?
It's- Yes, in 2019, calendar year 2019.
Okay.
Okay, so at our June meeting, we had reviewed these and we thought that they worked well. We're still open to any input. These have to be finalized prior to September 1st when the application season opens. We talked about a couple, but then we decided that that would be too restrictive. I can't remember exactly which ones we talked about adding, but
These seem to cover.
I think,
Cover everything.
I think one of them, we talked about, I believe, because we ran into, not an issue, but a questionable grant last year, that was, the venue was out of town, and we questioned whether or not we wanted to restrict the venue to Dudley.
Oh,
And then we said, well, no, that might restrict us too much, and that we're better off to look at it from a whole. And the one that we rejected was going to be held at a venue that was not easily accessible by our residents, and we denied it for that reason.
but
That
they
it wouldn't
can't be
be,
held out of town though?
it can be, there's no restriction.
Well, that was the question. I have a couple of notes, just that it was a transportation issue.
Right, right. Yes, Jim?
Well, I remember years ago, and I don't remember what the venue was, but it was sponsored by the Dudley Cultural Council, and I think it was some kind of a Christmas show years ago at the old auditorium. So that was
Oh.
out of town,
Right,
and it was very beneficial.
Exactly.
You just went, I think you got discounted tickets or something
Right.
like
But it has
that.
to be in Massachusetts. and
Yes,
I wouldn't,
yes.
you know, couldn't,
yes,
couldn't be like
Massachusetts.
something.
No, but
just-
see, and that's a perfect example of why we
Yeah.
don't want to restrict,
I agree. yeah.
okay? So that we can still look at it based on the rest
Look
of
at
our,
it, sure.
our guidelines.
Should that be in our local guidelines?
What's that?
You know, not restricted to Dudley, or maybe not necessary?
No, I
Probably
think
not
it's,
necessary.
by not putting it in, it's
Yeah,
assumed.
It's assumed, okay, yeah, you're right.
Once you put it in, it might change the mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's sort of assumed through the comment about we give priority to programs that will benefit many residents.
Many residents.
Right, right, and I believe that's the one that we used to make the denial with.
And we just figured it was the Worcester Chamber Music Society at
Is that the Overlook in Charlton?
Oh, there you go.
And, you know, again, not easily accessible by, you know, I mean, a lot of our seniors, in thinking about making priorities to seniors,
Yeah.
you know, we just felt at that point, given everything else that we were looking at, that would be more beneficial to the residents and.
It was held, though, other cultural councils.
Nice.
Okay, so are we in agreement with these priorities? Anything that we should add or think about?
Looks great.
Okay, I'll make the changes for the year. Okay,
I'm confused again.
yes.
What changes are we making?
Where it
Just the
says
date.
2017, I'm changing it to 2018.
Okay.
Just the date.
Yeah, just the year.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing on the checklist for August is to schedule a September meeting with the municipal fiscal officer to review the LCC account form. And Nancy, that's something that you do with Deb Thibodeau, right? The
I
form gets sent
contacted her.
directly to her.
Right, I contacted her yesterday and she has it all filled out already,
Okay, great.
so we're all set.
So we don't have to do anything with that. Done. Love it. Okay, and the third thing that we have to do is publicize the grant program. And Joan, I believe, that's something that you're gonna take care of?
Yeah, I don't think there will be many changes from what I submitted last year, except for
Okay.
dates.
Right, right, it should be pretty
I looked
standard.
it over, I meant to make a copy of it,
Yeah,
but,
applications open September 1st, they're online only.
and you want it as soon as possible now?
Pardon?
You want it as soon as possible?
Yeah, I think so, because we're already into August, so.
And, I just need to look at the calendar to see, we usually have the deadline of around the 15th of October. Last year, we clicked the 17th.
Well, it was because of a holiday or a Sunday.
Yeah, you run into a holiday sometimes.
Right.
We need to get it on the board out front. Somebody has to
October
check.
15th is a Sunday, so I'm assuming that the deadline will be the 16th. Okay, so if you can get that published, again.
They cannot enter them, I believe, till September 1st.
Correct.
And they're online only?
It's online only.
Oh, okay.
Yep, we started last year.
And then we have access to those?
We do.
Through the MCC
Yeah.
website?
I send the request to the Worcester Telegram, but they never publish it. But at least, it doesn't seem to hold anybody back.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
What's the times of publishing?
I think most of our applicants are repeat applicants and they know the process, and
Well, yeah.
and we weren't sure what was going to happen last year with this new online process. And really, it went very smoothly, and we didn't get any calls from anybody or any written requests sent in the mail, or
Nice.
so
Now,
everybody
do
paid
we put
attention.
it in the, do you publicize it in like the little, like the Smart Shopper and that, what's that
Yeah,
other
they
one,
said
that
on-
Yankee?
I can try
Yankee
that
something,
now.
those smaller ones?
I can try that now.
Because I know the T&G, I had the same problem, they never published.
Yeah, I'll try the Smart Shopper also.
Times,
I
yeah,
noticed
times.
they encourage that.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I've seen other towns though in the T&G.
What about Yankee Express?
Yeah, that's the one I was
Yeah,
trying
when
to
she
think
was-
of, yeah.
Oh, really?
I said,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I had the right name.
Okay.
It's like a bigger, it's like a
Yeah,
bigger
Yankee,
shape, yeah,
Yankee
Yankee
Express.
Express, yeah.
Yeah, the Yankee Express.
I know, I go through those.
Yeah,
when
that's a
they
good
come.
idea.
They do a lot of local
Express is
Yeah.
Yeah,
publication.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
recipes, yeah, recipes and stuff,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, they do the Dudley Women's Club. But, yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, very good.
Okay,
We also need to get permission to use the Marquee.
Oh, yeah, out front,
oh, yeah.
they usually give us just one side, but I think it helps people go by it every day. I like two sides.
And I believe last year we also, that new electronic sign for the library, I believe we had it
Oh, in
published
front
there
of
too.
Oh,
front
yeah,
of the
yeah,
fire
around
station.
The
No,
library.
the library.
The library.
You know, where it says knitting at the Pearl and yoga classes and on
Oh,
Schofield Ave, going down
I
Schofield.
haven't seen that.
When you're going
Get
down
there.
school, I go by all the time,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
excellent. Do you think it would be inappropriate to like put it in like church bulletin? I think Pastor John would probably allow it, I don't know.
Any place that we can publish it.
You know, they
That-
have like
that can't
good
hurt.
news and so.
I'll ask at St. Anthony's.
Yeah, I'll ask and see.
And if you,
What-
yeah.
Just
if
keep
you-
it brief, keep it small, but the
Right.
little pass out,
Right.
you pick up.
Do-
everything.
Right, and if you need the actual wording, you
Yeah,
can
the
get it
wording.
from Joan.
If you could get the wording, Joan. Can you email the
So
wording?
just a copy of the press
I'll
release.
Yeah, I can just pass on what I,
Yeah,
What I
that would be
said
great.
to the-
And
And
then if we
anybody
need to
that-
cut it down or whatever.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
That has the dates in it and everything?
It will.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well,
And that way,
down.
yeah, anybody that can publish it.
That's a good
anyway, that'd
idea.
be
Yeah,
good.
we could try,
Yeah.
all they can
Can't
say is
hurt.
no.
Depends on the
Congregational
busyness, but-
church, anybody?
Dudley
St.
Congregational.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Congregational.
Dudley
And-
Congregational,
Jenny's gonna look into St. Anthony's.
Yeah.
nobody at the bowling here, no?
Oh, but I suppose we could stop, I could stop there and see if they'll do it.
Sure.
I can't hurt.
Right. It never hurts to ask.
Right.
Great ideas, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions about the publication of the grant program? Okay,
Is this considered old business?
I'm sorry?
So this is old business, so that.
Yes, old business.
Are you going to see the library, Karen, at the library?
No,
Because I'm
you go
there.
to the
I could-
library.
Oh, you're
you
there,
can-
wait,
either one.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
she's
you
there,
guys.
you're
do
there
it.
more than I am.
Okay,
Okay, I'm there every Friday.
Don't
okay,
you
so
see
I will
anything in
contact the
proposal?
Dudley
What about
Library.
that thing in front of the fire station? What's that all about? That's town meetings? and
Yeah, they
things
do, well, they do the Boy Scouts and stuff.
They
I
do
don't know.
yard sales or
Yard
whatever.
sales, yeah.
Not yard
Yeah,
sales,
we
but
could-
you- well, I don't
They
know
do the
where
book sales,
do
the
you,
library book sale.
where do you go for that? Does it-
You go into the fire station.
Okay, I can stop
You
and
can do
ask
that
them
one,
about
okay.
that.
Oh, we're gonna
We
be
need to
going-
get, I need to
Oh,
get that
okay.
from you as soon as possible, Joan.
Yeah, I have,
All right.
I have an attachment. I can't send it that way.
Okay.
Right now, my daughter suggested I try getting a Gmail.
Well,
I can't get into my email, I
Can
can't.
you print it?
but doesn't, all it has to say
Yeah, I
is
can
that-
print it and I can get it to you, physically, but I can't attach it to my email on my laptop.
Okay.
And the attachment's in my laptop. I mean, I can get email, I can send email
Okay.
from my phone or an iPad, but I can't attach anything. It doesn't go to my laptop.
Is it long?
No.
No, okay, because like I say, you only have to say
No,
it's
no,
for the
it's
cultural
just-
council.
I don't know
accepting
what
grants,
happened.
Deadline.
I have had the laptop a long time. I'm getting a comment saying my browser is unsupported by Yahoo. My daughter suggested I try creating a Gmail account, email account, and see if that works.
Oh,
Allows me to get in and send it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to probably either somehow update the software or get a new laptop or something. I don't know.
It is online though. It's part of what the MCC sent us.
Well, the,
Yeah.
there is a sample
The
press
sample.
release.
Oh, okay.
There's a sample
All right.
press release.
Oh, we'll look.
Oh, you mean last year's?
No,
No, for this year.
But it doesn't have our dates or anything.
does it have the new dates in it?
No.
well, our date is October
We-
16th.
it's under
That's all we
samples
need
and
to know.
I believe
Well,
it
we
was
need
just-
to
I think
know
one-
9/1 and we need to know the online address.
Yeah, and I think I believe the change would probably have to be who to contact if you have questions.
Yeah.
I believe I have Denise and Marilyn still on
Yeah.
the current one, so I would
So
have
would
to.
we just leave
You
your?
have to,
Well, let's see what we can work
Okay.
up.
you're the only chairperson right now.
Well, we haven't gotten to that yet.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. I was wondering if I
Okay,
was
that's
jumping the gun here.
She's going in on it.
Okay, so if we're done with that for now, we do have some follow-ups on that. Primarily, it's getting the press release that we're using for this year
Yeah.
distributed to the people that are going to then distribute it out even further. Okay.
Do that as soon as possible.
So moving on, first thing in old business we have here is status of current members and review of officers for the fiscal year 18, cycle 44. I'm going to update this. I was hoping to get this done before today, but I didn't. But Marilyn had made us this for the last few years, and with everyone's name and contact information, email address, as well as the start and end dates of
Each person.
each person.
Okay.
So that way we can kind of track who's coming, who's going.
Those
So
are online too.
this is, yes, you can see the list of members,
Yeah,
and it's all there on the,
When their term expires.
right.
On the Massachusetts site?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yes.
You can
But
tell
it's always
everybody.
nice, I like to have just this little copy here,
Yeah, no,
you
it's
know,
nice to
a
have it
little
right in
cheat
front
sheet.
of you, sure.
And so just looking through this quickly, Joanne, your end date is next June. This is your last year of your 3-year term. I've just renewed, so this is the first year of my second 3-year term. Marilyn is out this year. Audrey, same as Joanne, this is the last year of your first 3-year term. Nancy Roy, this in June will be correct? Your last year of your
2018, yep.
new six-year
new
term,
one.
right. And Joan, your term date is 2019,
Yeah, it's like in my minutes.
and that's your second term.
Yeah.
So we've still got you this year and next year. Then we have to start thinking about who's going to take notes, because that's when you have to take a year off.
Yep.
Keep that in mind.
Is it just a year?
Yeah.
Take 1 year off.
1
You
year.
have to take 1 year
I've
off.
only been off for a year?
No, I think you've been off for more than that.
2 or 3.
So
Okay.
I have two, yeah.
Oh, all right.
I have two.
Officers, I'm sitting here as chair. Joan as our secretary, Nancy's our
I will
treasurer.
continue.
And for the last 3 years that I've been on, 2 of those years I worked with Marilyn as a co-chair, and I thought that worked very well. So I'm opening it up to see if we have a volunteer who would like to be co-chair.
Gee, why is
Audrey,
everybody
Mary,
looking at me?
you're already
Yeah.
sitting at the front of the table.
I volunteer.
I don't think I do.
Oh, we have a
okay.
volunteer.
No, I was
I'm
gonna say, I don't
going
think I
to
have
get
enough experience.
So,
Oh.
okay, thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
I think it's just very helpful.
Yeah.
You never know,
Sure.
that proverbial train.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's always good to have somebody else who kind of knows the whole process and just, I know you know because you've had
This
it for
whole
so many
online
years.
thing is a little new to me. We'll
Right,
have to go over
but
that
that'll
one
be good.
because we were still doing all paper stuff.
Okay, so we have a co-chair. And I'll go in and adjust that in on the website. Thank you, Mary.
So Mary, we'll have to put your name in that press release.
In the press release as an
Yes.
additional
Yeah.
contact
Yeah.
person.
I don't know if I have your info. I
Well,
might
just-
have an old one.
It's written down.
Mary
Okay.
Cookles.
508-943-8107. Are you putting cell phone numbers in it now or just?
If people would like to give me their cell phone numbers, I'd be happy to take them and put them in. and include them.
Okay. I don't think you have my cell phone.
No, I don't.
Some people do cell phone instead of house phone.
Oh, I
Some
know,
do
a
just
lot of
house
people
phone.
don't have landlines anymore at all.
Okay, next thing is the sexual harassment policy. You were at the June meeting, right, Audrey?
Yes.
You signed yours, you're all set. I think it was just Joanne.
Do I have to read it again?
Mhm.
I've done it, but
We
you
get
have to
one,
do
we
it every
get
time.
one every year.
Every year?
It's, yeah, we have to redo them this year.
I'll read one of those.
Okay, Joanne?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the policy. It's important for the back page if you will just date it and sign it, and it's basically attesting to the fact that you have received the copy.
Okay.
So even though you haven't read it, it's
Okay.
basically just saying that you received it, and if you could just leave that. It says, it has to go back to Joan Gardecki. Do you know where her office is?
Third floor, she's works with Debbie Thibodeau.
Or I think if you left it with Michelle, she'd be sure to get it over there.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And here's one for Mary and Jenny.
So we can do that today, right?
You can do that today.
Thanks.
Wait a minute, I may have given you my copy. Hold on. Is there a back page to yours, Jenny? Maybe not.
Well, it doesn't, it just has signature and print name.
Right, and it's just attesting to
So
the
it's not
fact.
your
That we
copy.
received it.
No, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
yours, that's yours. So it's just attesting to the
Yep.
fact that you received it. And if you can leave that with her, then that'll be finished business.
I don't know if I ever got this.
Thank you.
Now,
If you-
I'm sorry,
Mary,
Mom.
if
I
you
don't
want,
know
I
if I
can
ever
take
got
this.
this.
one.
What am I here?
Joanne,
I'm trying to see if I'm Virginia
do
or
I
Jimmy.
continue to spell your name with an N,
How do
extra
people
N?
know you by mostly
I have two.
the most popular version of your name?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
am Virginia,
And there's no.
according to my
I
phone.
think I know
One
that,
in
Keep it legal.
but the, your last name, I have a mental block about.
That's all
It's
right.
Brinker.
Brink, not Blink.
No, Brink. I have a Brink, but I always put a nerve for some
Yeah, you
reason.
do.
Maybe I get mixed up with
Comes in
President.
America.
I don't know why I have this mental block.
So this was the this was the meeting.
Yes,
This
that's,
is a continuing.
I think it was under hearing.
Yes.
I don't know, I thought I did.
Okay,
Because I just started.
so,
Skipping right there.
moving on to the next item. I just wanted to take a few minutes just to review our online process and with what they call the panel book. For those of us that experienced it last year, but for our new members, now that we're totally online, what happens is we don't have to keep checking for applications in the mailbox.
Nice.
We do absolutely nothing about applications except if we get contacted, answer a question, if an applicant might have a question. If we can't answer the question, obviously we refer them to the contact at the state. It worked, what I thought, very well last year. It was a little bit of an adjustment, especially for people that are not 100% into the electronic world yet. Okay, but I think in the end, pretty much everybody thought it worked well. So what happens is all the applications go to the state. The people at the state review and be sure that they first meet all the state criteria. So that's one step less for us. We don't have to consider that. Once they get into the system, we know they've met all the state criteria. What they do, what I thought some of the advantages were, first of all, it's all very legible because it's all printed. There's no handwriting to decipher. All of the fields are completed because they won't accept it unless the fields are, so if somebody doesn't have a date or, contact information,
We're not even.
we're not have to worry about it.
Get it, right?
We'd need to get it,
Okay.
right. So, or they would contact the person and say, we need this. So by the time we get it, what they've done is they put it into what's called a panel book. So they take all of the Dudley Cultural Council applications. Last year, I think we had 19 or so. Yeah, we had 14, we had 19, we had 14 approvals, 5 denials.
19.
Okay, yeah, 19. So they take our 19 and they consolidate them into a PDF file, and they notify us. And last year they allowed themselves 2 weeks after the close date, just because it was a whole new process for them as well. But we had it within a week. They'll notify us, they'll tell us that our panel book is there. We go online. When you log in, there's a section there that says panel book. You open it up, and every application is there. They limit it to 5 pages per applicant. And you can start reviewing them online. What we decided to do last year, we have several options. What we did last year is we had Michelle for the Selectman's office print 1 copy for us, because it ended up being over 100 pages, 100 and something pages. So she printed 1 copy for us, and then I went to Staples and had a 2nd copy made. And what we did is we distributed amongst the 7 members, we distributed the 19 copies and said, okay, Ginny, these are your 3 to review. Joe, these are your 3 to review. These are your 3 to review, prior to our voting meeting. So then when we came together for the voting meeting, these are your copies, you can write on them, you can make notes.
Okay.
Each person presented their 3, okay, with recommendations to approve or to deny, and then we discussed it. Ahead of time, if you want, you can review all of them online because they're all accessible to you at any time at home. We kept the copy that I had made at Staples, we had here, just in case there were additional questions or somebody needed an extra copy. But then that's what we kept to file away for our records, because we need to do that.
Copy.
We need a hard copy of, well, it's questionable whether we need a hard copy or whether just the copy that's in the, the electronic copy is acceptable. But we just felt better keeping that hard copy, so that's now in the file cabinet over here. And we thought that worked out well. Another option would be, if everybody is more comfortable reviewing everyone themselves on paper, we can have additional copies printed using our admin funds, which is what we used for the copy from Staples. I think it was like $13 for the 1 copy. But it's probably more of a personal preference. you know, everybody I think has a computer, has access to review them.
Yeah.
It worked well for us the last time.
You can take your own notes, so when people present theirs.
Yeah, right. I reviewed them all online, and then I had the hard copy for mine that I could scribble on.
Right,
So, but I didn't go online and review them all.
right,
And
Right, and that way
So you
you-
were familiar with it.
right. And if you were reviewing something that wasn't yours, and you had a question, you could jot it down,
No,
and then
well,
you
yes,
would know.
you had handed out the listing of all of them.
Right.
So I went and made notes on it. When I was doing it online, I just wrote little things
Right.
down that.
That you were questioning or
Yeah.
whatever, that you needed more information.
Because I can't remember past my nose, so.
Yeah.
So I had to. yeah.
Understand that.
So I had, to jog my memory of what I was
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, my recommendation would be to proceed the same way.
Sure.
Sounds
With this
great.
year and-
Sounds great.
Okay.
Now, did you create that list that she was just
Right,
referring to?
It came right off the, it
Off
was
the
part of the
system.
panel book.
Yeah.
Oh, it was part of the panel?
It's all
Perfect.
there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
because that's great.
Yes, they did a
idea.
great job, I thought,
Okay.
of pulling all of that information together.
They do, I know in the past I've found, and they're extremely helpful. I don't know.
They are.
This Lisa Simmons is new, I can't remember the name of the person I dealt with, but she was
Yeah.
wonderful.
I talked to
Her
Lisa.
name is
She
Jennifer, I
is-
believe
she
Jennifer
is-
Atwood.
Jennifer Atwood, yes.
Jennifer
absolutely.
was married last year and moved to China.
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Wow, well, she was,
She was very helpful.
very helpful. and
But
always-
Lisa has been too.
Lisa
so.
is,
Good.
I just worked with her.
Where did you get that name? I don't see that name.
Trying to think, I think it's probably on the website.
Oh,
Lisa
okay.
Simmons?
Lisa Simmons, is that who
Oh,
that is?
Lisa
That's our
Simmons.
contact.
Oh, on the
Her phone
email
number's
thing.
here, her email address.
It's
is
all
on
right,
here,
on the
too.
Gmail thing, on the bottom. You get the one that says M Gmail? Nancy, is that from you? Yes.
No, I didn't get that.
Public records.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. Let me check.
I didn't put that.
I didn't get that Gmail.
I don't
Let's
have
see.
mine. All her information is
You don't-
right there,
Maybe
including phone number.
Are there more copies? How many copies did you make, Nancy?
I only made it for you, I thought only for the officers.
No.
Okay, I don't need it. I don't need
Oh,
it.
here it is.
I don't need it.
There you go, you got one.
No, I don't need it.
No, you
I
got,
got
yeah,
the
very
it's
much.
coming, we have all this paperwork, you have to have all this.
I have to
paperwork.
have
I'll make
Can I
copies.
just- All right, thank you.
And it's something that we're going to talk about coming up.
All right.
Okay. Okay, next one is the banner, and I believe at our last
Yes.
meeting, Audrey, you agreed to take charge of the banner again this year. That'd be great. And what Audrey did last year was to kind of coordinate, not that she was responsible for bringing that banner to every event, but just to make sure that it gets there. If anybody is attending any of these functions and wants to call Audrey and say, hey, I'm going, I'll pick up the banner, she'd be very happy to hear from you.
Yes. So is it in your personal possession?
No.
Or is
No,
it
it's
here?
kept here.
It's here, okay.
It's here in the copy, in the mail room.
Okay.
Behind the
And
door.
it's in a little cubby
Right.
over to the
In our
side.
cubby.
Okay.
Not our
Behind the
cubby,
door.
but behind the door,
Okay.
because it's a bigger cubby and more room for storage.
Yep.
So, that worked out well to make sure that we had our recognition. Okay, I was at the library the other day and I saw the Dudley Cultural Council flyer.
I was thinking about that. I said,
And
geez,
I
that's gonna have
started
to be
reading
updated.
it. And I said,
Uh-oh.
I think this needs to be updated.
Yeah.
Well, I did that when I
You
was.
did, Jen.
I didn't personally do it.
I did it. I think I was
You
part of that when I was on.
You helped
That
out
was,
with it, huh?
I
No,
had been on for
I
several
had
years.
somebody at my office do
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Right, but we worked on it.
Oh, yeah, the
We
wording,
worked on it.
the
wording.
The wording and stuff, yeah.
Except
oh, yeah,
that
no, I
I'm
didn't do the
not,
printing.
and in fact, I think I threw all my copies away when I moved. I threw a lot of stuff
I
away.
found some at the library.
Okay.
So,
You know what?
there are some things here that are still very pertinent.
Yeah, I mean, I had seen that, if you remember, I had seen somebody else's somewhere.
Okay.
Yes, we had a copy of from the
Yes.
council.
And I said, wouldn't that be great?
Right,
And I had a
absolutely.
gal do it on, in fact, I gave her all the extra paper when I left my hand. See all this colored paper? It's yours. I don't need it. I'm going home. I could see if she'll do it, unless you want to do it, Mary. I personally
Well, I'm
can't do
thinking right off
that.
the bat, I'm thinking Bay Path. You know, but
See, for me to go to Bay Path,
it's easier for you to do it.
it's easier for me to see if Carolyn will do it again. I need a copy, and I need an updated version.
Well, we have to update first.
Yeah, no, I need
So
it
I'm
updated.
sounding like we might have a little committee here to work on this.
No, I'll do it again, sure.
Do you and Jenny
Okay,
want to work
well,
on
yeah,
this?
we'll talk about it. Well, do we need know anything we'll update it ourselves? But I need that.
Well, yeah, well,
I'll be happy to work with you too on this. And I
I
can,
haven't read it since I left, and
What
that was like.
what I can
few years
do-
ago.
Is there a year on that?
Who's on it? Whose names are on it?
yours is.
I know, so
Yeah.
that's what, how long has it been? It's been a long time.
Well, it has been.
And it talks about Postmark, which is no longer pertinent.
Right,
yeah.
You know, but I'd be happy to do a little editing.
Okay, why
Yeah,
don't you do
good,
that?
great.
I'll get in touch with Carolyn, because I just paid her to do it and bought the paper, and I think
Why
I had to
don't-
pay to make the copies too. But that's fine, it didn't cost that much.
No, and we have admin funds.
No, I
for
didn't,
whatever.
I just did it.
You
No.
don't have to do
I
that.
Right,
just
I
did
know,
it.
but
We
we
don't
do
have
have-
to do that.
We do have admin funds.
It can be a
That's what it
donation.
is. And actually, we can.
It can be,
we can
certainly.
put a bit more up.
We appreciate it.
I don't do that much work, so I felt that was a good
We had,
contribution.
what, 150?
So you'll get to
I
us
will-
on that, Denise?
I will edit, I will kind of like edit,
156.
and then
Let's see if I saved any.
I'll let you
I had a whole
two,
bunch of them, and I
Yeah.
know I said, this gotta be old. I threw them
and then I'll
away.
let you two know.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
But I would actually, did you say that they still are at the
Yes,
library?
I'll get some more.
Get some
I'm
more
there.
so that Carolyn,
Right.
if she wants to do them again.
Well, find out first.
Yeah.
If she will, and then if not,
She
we'll
will.
take it from there.
So what I'll do is I'll just go through the
It was just easier when we
language.
were, physically together in the
Do you
same room.
do you remember how many she had done?
She'll probably had 100.
Mm.
Because I know we put them downstairs.
Yeah, we put
In
them
that
the
rack.
li- Didn't we put some in the library?
Well, she got that from the
Yeah, the
library.
library, yeah.
And
So
I don't
there's
know
still
where
some
else
there.
we, might have tacked one up in one of the markets.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might have tacked
don't
one
know.
at Parkin Shop.
Should be in the minutes somewhere. We look back
Yeah.
where we decided to put them.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I would imagine over at the town clerk's office, or around the town hall.
Oh, yeah, Gora's,
Places,
yeah,
you know, or
the town
office.
clerk's
Oh,
town
you know,
counter.
where people
And
come.
Her counter,
Yeah, okay.
Gora's counter, yeah, we had some there.
Okay, so let me
I'll
start,
get in touch with
and
her.
as soon as I,
I'll email her
what I'll
today.
do is-
Text her.
it's probably easier for me to run through it
Okay,
and just kind of see, oh, this needs updating, this needs updating.
okay.
Then I'll get back to you too. Thank you. It won't be this week.
We don't, and I'm gonna be away a couple of days next week, so.
And I'm gonna be away the rest of
You don't
this
care
week.
about what color, do
No.
we? I think that we picked yellow. I think the
No
ones we
preference.
had, a copy of were pink or something.
Yeah, I
Remember
think
that
yellow
color.
works best. They say if
Yellow-
you want to advertise something, they say use yellow.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I've read
I think
that somewhere.
it
Oh,
just
lime
worked
green.
well as far
Oh,
as
lime
the monogram.
Well, that's from the council. It wasn't with the box with all, when I had the box, the little label thing, the little logo like.
Yeah, I think we worked hard on that. If I remember correctly, trying to get that.
Well, isn't
And
there,
that's
there was
something,
one in the
actually,
box that we
that's something
used
that
to
Lisa Simmons could help you with,
The
because
state
I'm
could
sure they
send you
must
one.
have,
Oh,
The state
okay.
could send you one.
they
All
must,
right,
they must
sure. And then
have
she
it
cut
in
and
whatever
paste it.
Yeah,
format
just cut and paste.
that you
right.
need it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
on their website they have, because I think I used that when I did the questionnaire.
Oh, for the
I'm on
survey.
If I'm remembering
I think you're right.
correctly,
I
on
think
the
you're right.
Mass
Yeah.
website, they do have logo you can cut
Okay.
and paste.
Okay,
right, we'll
so
see.
on the website, check it out. Okay.
If she says yes, then we'll work it out.
Yep.
All she has to do is say, if she says no, you'll be hearing from me very soon here.
Well, I could do it, if I could get it on my, so I could do it on my laser printer. I'd have to get everything on my computer.
Yeah, but you don't want to print them all out on your computer.
Well, if it's 100 copies, that's not a lot.
No? Oh.
Oh, we reimburse you for,
I got so much, I have paper, I don't have
What's
yellow.
the-
Yeah, I don't
it's-
have
They,
yellow.
they may have on their website samples of pamphlets as well. They may-
Oh,
Again, I don't remember if I saw that when I was doing the
Oh, God, we
questionnaire.
made that one up ourselves
Yeah.
from that
From
one
the-
piece of
That one,
paper.
Yeah.
But
I
the
said one
original
thing.
being able to simplify your work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
The original one came from when I went to a dinner.
Oh, you're the one who brought it then? Okay.
When I went to a dinner held at the Ecotarium.
Somewhere.
I don't know where you
Where
went.
was it?
Sorry.
Too long ago.
The hill, oh, something
And,
else.
um,
It wasn't the one you
They had,
referred
well, they had a dinner for members of the councils, and so I went. And a lot of the councils had, you know, their displays, you know, put out. So I picked up a few. They also have them in Boston, when we go to Boston. Remember when
Yeah, I
we went to that
imagine,
day? And they had samples of, you know, what their councils do.
Oh,
All those councils have a lot of money.
Well, I
Yeah,
talked to
some of
Lisa
those
about that.
councils.
Yeah,
I gave
a
her
lot
my
of money.
opinion.
Some, Worcester even, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm so
Well,
excited
it's
about
all-
the $5,000. We
Yeah.
worked at 35.
30,
Yeah.
yeah.
3,500, that's all we had for the whole time. Two terms that I
I'm
served.
surprised.
They do, it's a formula that they use
Yeah, oh, I
based
know,
on
I
population.
know that
and-
population, no, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so there's follow-up there. Next item is the document storage. A question came up at several of our meetings as to how long do we have to keep everything? And so Lisa actually did send us a copy, and that's what Nancy printed out here. This
Oh.
is
6 years, did it say?
the law. And it's basically,
Should be archived.
Public record.
we have to keep everything for minutes of all meetings, disclosure forms, and any other records must be maintained in a public place. Copy of the PDF panel book containing the council's applications must also be maintained in a public place. Approval and denial letters should be archived in the same manner. At least 6 years' worth of records must be kept in a secure space identified by the city or town clerk. Records more than 6 years old should be archived using the same procedures employed by local government. So that tells me we have to keep it forever.
Where are we keeping this?
We're
I know-
keeping,
I know.
our most current, 6 years are in here.
Do we ever find the key?
We have
for
the
that
key,
one upstairs?
And the key is kept with, by Michelle.
Okay,
So that way, anybody coming in that needs access just needs to see Michelle for the key.
and all the others are still upstairs?
And then
Out here in that
The
back
old
room?
stuff is in the dead record room across the
Okay.
hall.
All right.
Okay?
No, but that key was never found.
Never found. I kept
So-
it in the secretary's, I had a loose.
In the book,
we had a
yeah,
loose
the
folder,
loose
and I
binder.
kept it on the.
Yeah, so we decided
That's a good
that
idea.
we should just keep it with Michelle, and that way, if somebody's coming in to do something,
Yeah, you're gonna be doing it here. so,
you know,
keep it here.
everybody has access to it through Michelle.
Makes sense to me.
And,
I just thought of something. Let me read this again. Oh, the denial letters and stuff,
Yes.
have those been updated now?
yes,
The acceptance and denial letters?
we have,
Okay.
yeah, the forms, we
Yeah.
use the
Oh,
forms from the,
From the
um,
MC, I know, they came
from
from
the
the
online.
MCC, but
Yeah.
I know I have to change some of the wording on a few of them to, as to why we were accepted or why, mostly why we denied.
well, actually, there's 5 or 6 reasons why, and the majority of them are state reasons. And the last reason is, okay, that's the one that we have to add in, because it says, because it's denied based on a local priority,
Okay.
a local
Yeah,
guideline.
but you have to say
And then you
what
have
it
to
is.
say
You
what
have
it
to
is.
say what it is,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So yes, I did
Yeah.
type those in. And we only had 5 last year, so
Oh.
we have to.
So by doing that, if there's one there that we have to go by a local guideline,
If we're denying it for.
if we're denying it,
Yeah.
Then you specify what the guideline is.
well, like we talked about earlier,
Mhm.
we decided not to put one in about out of town.
Yep.
Maybe we should, if
We-
we're gonna use that
No,
for
because we
reason.
didn't use that as a local guideline. I spoke with Lisa about that last year, because we weren't quite sure how to deny that one, what reason to use. And Lisa got back to us and suggested that we use, that it didn't, that one of the state ones had to do with,
One of
I
the
can pull it out.
criteria. It just didn't meet one of the, many.
it wasn't, it meant,
One of
we were
these
able to
other-
use one of the state ones.
Oh,
Let's see.
I would think.
Key.
Thank you.
I think they need 2 keys.
They benefit many residents rather
Yes.
than a few.
Um,
That could be part of it, because
Oh, you
if
know what?
it's an obscure location.
There was a transportation problem.
Yeah,
was there?
that was one that was
Transportation.
transportation.
I
So it
thought-
could
I
fall
thought
into
it was
any one of
the-
these without being
Yeah, I thought it
out
was
of,
being stated.
out of state, we said we wouldn't.
No,
do
you
it.
can't, it has to be in Memphis. I just didn't know if it had
That's
to
what
be
MCC
something.
But out of Dudley, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
But I'm pretty sure it was the one that it didn't benefit enough people. We were concerned about transportation.
Okay. That makes sense.
Pretty sure that was it, but I'm not, oh, it was
Makes
worded.
sense.
Okay, for example, one of them we denied, and it was, your proposed project did not meet an additional requirement outlined in our council priorities. And the guideline was for FY, for fiscal year 17 grants, the program must take place within the 2017 calendar year.
Okay.
So that was the one that we added there. Then we denied one for your project did not provide enough public benefit for our community compared to other proposals we received.
There you go.
And I believe that's the one that we
That's
used for the
all
venue. It's
encompassing,
very
yeah.
encompassing, and it's one of the state guidelines, so we don't
Okay.
have to get into,
Yeah.
you know.
That's good.
We use that for this one also. And for this one, we said, oh, again, the same one, did not provide enough public benefit. So that's a good kind of general one. And then the last one, it was a, this is the one that I said that we had the same person apply to basically the same program at different venues. And we said again, the state said, the printed one said your proposed project did not meet an additional requirement outlined in our council priorities. And we added, we may choose to limit the number of applications that may be funded by one individual or group depending on the amount of our allocations for each cycle. So yeah, it worked well. Yeah, as much as we can, we try to use the broad one.
Try to use it. But you never had a person call you and want to know why.
Oh.
You had one, and Rose Smith had one too.
Oh, Rose had one?
Rose had one,
Oh,
that she
okay.
was chairman. He was really upset that he wasn't.
Does anybody have anything to put in here?
I will after the meeting.
Okay, I will lock it then.
So that's our current storage area there, right?
I'm sorry?
That's the current storage.
Yes.
The other one, I just don't want.
That's the old stuff. Well, after 6 years, that's just 6 years worth in here, right? And then everything else goes up.
So is there anything else under old business? Anybody have anything they want to bring up or say or comment or? Okay.
I was just gonna make a little comment. I think that one of the ones we didn't accept was because of a date. It might have been done in September.
Mhm.
And our program eligibility
Right.
guideline says October. You can go to the prior, like in other words, in other words, cycle 43's
Okay.
dates,
Yep.
as well
That's
as
a,
next year.
that's a state guideline.
Yeah.
However, the last paragraph of that says that local councils are authorized to establish a smaller window of eligibility.
Okay.
And if they do so, they must publish the eligible dates in their council priorities.
And that's where
And that's where we
have-
restrict it to the current
Yeah,
calendar
okay.
year.
Yeah.
Okay? So that takes care of that. Because yes, at a state level, they do allow a broader,
More
the
time.
18-month window. But
Ours is just 12 months.
ours is just 12 months.
Um,
We restrict it.
I was just thinking, opening a can of worms myself, something about the festivals. Should I do anything about publishing
well,
information on that?
I'm not sure where they're at with that right now, but
Or maybe in the future.
there are additional funds available, from what I understand, for festivals.
Oh.
So in other words, if the town were doing, and we thought of the Strawberry Festival, the Dudley Strawberry Festival, or in the past they've had, in October, they've had the Apple Festival.
They used to have didn't they have a chowder festival at one time in October?
But there are funds available in addition to our allocation.
Oh,
Okay.
There are funds available directly from the council, from the cultural council. If a city, town, or a group within a city or town wants to do a type of festival. We've never done a lot of publication about that, I don't believe.
I don't remember anything about this.
I think at one point, didn't somebody contact somebody at the Grange? It might have been somebody that's not here. But we said, well, gee, we wonder if, because I think they can get up to $500. I think that's what the funding was. And I think somebody contacted, is it Ken, somebody at the Grange?
Ken Leferia?
Yes, to let him know that this could be available to him, but he would have to apply,
Yeah.
not to us, but directly to the state.
Oh,
So it was just kind of, our job was to do it as an informational
Oh, okay.
type thing to any groups in town that would be interested. There is information on the website about it. And I'm not sure how much, I'm not aware. And they have fall festivals and they have spring festivals, so there's like 2 different application periods. So if you know of anybody, or you know of anything that's going on in the town.
Do you know the dates though? The dates?
I
that
don't
you say,
know,
when
but
you-
it's-
like,
it's
when-
on the
when you
website.
have to apply? Is that like a grant or is that just?
It's
a
almost like,
request?
it's,
Kind of like that bus grant.
I think it
It's
is.
another thing.
The yellow bus, is it called the yellow bus?
I think so.
For schools that they can apply.
Big yellow bus or
The
something
big yellow
like
bus
that.
they can apply for.
For schools.
And that
Oh,
again,
Yeah, that was a separate, I remember.
We had
that.
yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
that
what the
over the
festival
years.
is like, it's
Yeah,
separate.
separate.
It's
Okay,
not
it
part
doesn't-
of our
okay. But
our
that's
duties
just-
or responsibilities.
Okay,
So it's really kind of informational.
and that's only from the state? That
Yes.
$500 is from the state?
It does not come out of our allocation.
Okay.
So, yeah, so definitely if we know of anybody, we want to publicize it, or if we want to at some point
Well, I think
put
that's good to
something
know.
in,
I'll let Kenny know for sure.
in the, yes, or something if we want to put it in the paper, like a press release about it,
Yeah.
let people know that it's available. But again, it's more of a large organization that's
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
do
what
it.
about like the church?
Not as
Like
an
St.
individual.
Andrew Loyola, like, would that be?
You think that they do it for the churches?
I don't
I
think so.
don't, probably not.
Again, is
That's the
that
only
church
one that we
state
have in
separation?
Dudley anyway that does festivals, right?
Right.
Is
Well,
that-
that's the only one I know of.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
wouldn't
St.
think
Andrew.
that they would.
I wouldn't think so either.
I would say no, yeah, but I would just thought.
Yeah,
um,
but,
Well, that's good.
but yes, that, and there is more information on the website about that. So, Joan, maybe you want to think about it if you have time to put together, and there may be a sample press release online about the festivals, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
it's-
I think I saw something in the newspapers, like a list of paper,
Oh,
about a couple
perhaps.
of months ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'll check
Yeah.
online.
Okay. Okay, anything else for old business?
does anyone know the name of the chairpersons for the Webster Cultural Council, a name, just a name?
No, but it should be online, we should be able to
Online.
find it online. I don't know who that is. Okay, so now getting into the only new business that I have here, and I have trouble sometimes separating out what's old business.
I know.
Okay, just get it on the agenda.
Because it goes from
I have
old
to admit, I didn't notice that you had the other things that weren't really old business under the
Oh.
August checklist.
Whatever. It's the funding for the 2018 Cycle 44, and I believe we already spoke about that. Looks like it's going to be level funding. We'll get the allocation by the end of August. So then we need to schedule our next meeting. Now, the timing of that meeting, the applications will close on October 16th. The state needs a little bit of time to do their magic to put this panel book together. Last year they asked for 2 weeks but I'm sure we'll have it within a week of when the applications close. I'm going to be away most of the month of October. So if we could come up with a day sometime, perhaps before Thanksgiving, beginning of November sometime,
early November, I'd say
Yeah.
first week in November.
first or second week in November, that would give us time, because last year, as it turned out, as we were reviewing some of the applications, we couldn't make a final decision on at least 3 of them because we had questions for the state.
Oh,
So we had to get back,
okay.
wait for our responses, and then we had a second meeting just to finish up those ones that we had not
Yeah.
made a decision on. So, does everybody have their calendar?
Yeah, November 1st is a Wednesday.
Sounds good.
Did we say Wednesday?
Wednesday's perfect.
If Wednesday works for everybody.
What'd you say? I like Wednesdays. November 1st?
Let me just see what that looks like, 'cause like I
May
said, I'm gonna
not
be
be back.
out.
Last year it was the 9th.
Okay, that would be the 8th.
I think because of election.
Election day is the
Yeah.
7th.
Okay, November 1st works for me.
Works for me.
Everybody, November 1st,
Yeah,
okay?
Hey.
So let's say November 1st.
9, right?
Is 9 okay? Is 9 too early?
No, nine's
Does
fine.
anybody prefer later? I know Joe and I think liked a little later.
Get up early, yes.
That's all right.
9:30, any good for
Fortunately, it's
everyone?
close by.
9, I don't care. Do it-
I don't care.
What do we wanna do?
What works.
9:30 better?
Well, you want to do 10? Is 10 too late?
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Kind of late.
9:30?
Oh, 9:30, it makes
it doesn't matter to me, anytime.
Let's say 9:30.
9:30.
9:30, we said?
9:30.
Yeah.
And it'll be here. I'll stop and let Michelle know and look for the room with Laura.
Yeah.
So that we have that.
Anybody remember her last name yet? It's not
No,
easy.
but we'll stop and ask her. Michelle?
Oh, it's in the letter that she sent. Michelle in the selectman's
Yes.
office?
Yeah.
She sent the letter to be
I know it is, so she sends it up.
Jervis,
Jervis.
Jervis.
Okay.
Not BAIS, just G.
No, because it's Jervis.
Oh, J-E-R. Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
J.
it's
Got
like
it. I'm
Ginny,
thinking
not
of,
with a J.
I'm thinking of Gervais.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we have our next meeting November 1st, 9:30 and 3:15. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Bye. Thank you.